Happy Friday, friends. I hope you're not suffering the heat like we are here. It is just stinking hot in the Dallas-Fort Worth area today. I've been watering my garden and I just went out to turn the water off and I felt like I needed a shower just from being outside for 5 minutes to go and turn off the hose. So I'm sending cool thoughts to everybody that's also in the middle of this heat wave. Today we are going to have a longtime friend of mine, Shari McFarlane, to talk with us about a disease that I had never heard of until she shared that she had it. So a lot of the things that I learn about through friends and people that I know make me that much more grateful that I'm pretty much just a normal, healthy person. Obviously, I could stand to improve in some areas, but I've got it pretty good. So, hello, P-Hop. Thanks for being here today. I do have Shari backstage, and I want to get this screen turned off here. All right, so we're going to do, like we've done the last couple times I've had a special guest. We'll have an interview here in just a bit, and then I'll go over some channel stats and member channel information so that you guys can be caught up with what's happening in YouTube land. And I want to start today. I am at, let me share that screen with you as well. I'm at shinealightonhs.com, and I'm just going to read to you the information about what Hidradenitis Suppurativa. I hope I said that right. I just watched that video and now I don't know if I said it right. I'll share this with you while I read the definition of it, which I can't see on the screen in front of me because it's too small and my eyes are not good. But this says HS, which is Hidradenitis Suppurativa. We'll have to ask Shari if I'm saying it right. HS is a chronic or long-lasting inflammatory skin condition with painful bumps or boils that come and go, mostly on areas of the body where skin meets skin, like the groin, inner thighs, buttocks, under the breasts, and in the armpits. These bumps can lead to sores or abscesses that can leak and leave scars. HS can be a painful and draining vicious cycle. HS is thought to be caused by an overactive immune system generating too much inflammation throughout the body, but symptoms primarily show up on the skin. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Anyone who's visiting, I'd love for you to let me know. I got a comment on this live already that a friend of mine here on YouTube has, I think her daughter and someone else in the family both have this condition. And to me, that just already makes it seem like it's way too common. This just doesn't sound like anything I would wish on my worst enemy. And I will be anxious to learn about it. When I visited with Shari earlier this week, there is a family history for her as well. So maybe she can give us some more information on, how heredity factors in and what the odds are. I know she has a daughter, so that makes me concerned for her daughter. But I think it will be an interesting show. Again, something new to me. Before we get started, I'd just let you know that I am so excited about a project that I completed and started this week. I'm going to be putting a video together that I hope will be ready for publication tomorrow, just so that it's really current. As always, I've got always like 4 or 5 videos like in the works in various stages of editing and production. But this one, I want to try to get it put together so that you can see it more real time what's happening, because it's just really exciting. And I just think it turned out great. I need to make some modifications. I'll talk about that in the video when it comes out. But it's been a long time coming, and I know the one who's benefiting the most is really excited about this project being finished. So be watching for that video tomorrow. And then I'll have some more information about Rich Cat Ranch later on in the stream today. Hello, Jerry at Butler Family Farm. I hope you are recovering well and that you're closer to being 100%. Erica Olson, hello to you. Thanks for being here today. Yeah, humidity. I think that's what was the problem this earlier today, because it's just as hot as it has been, but I really was only outside maybe 5 minutes and just had sweat pouring down. Whereas a couple of days ago, it was equally hot, but I didn't sweat as much. And I noticed when I came in to check the temperature that the real feel was pretty close, if not exactly the same as the actual temperature. And I think that real feel factors in humidity. So when it's humid, it feels hotter and you're going to sweat more because the moisture in the air is just adding to the moisture in your body. Just like in the winter, there's wind chill, which makes it feel colder than it really is. So I think it's just the opposite with the heat. All right, Jerry's doing better. Okay, we'll take 75%, right? We'll take 75%. I just know it's hard to be out of commission when you've got property and animals to tend to. All right, so I don't know that there's anything else I can tell you about today's stream. Let me get ready to pop some stats up on the bottom of the page for you before I bring Shari up. And let me take this off. All right, and I've got her backstage, so a little ahead of schedule. I'm going to bring her up. We're going to pick her brain about this disease. I'll share with you how the two of us know each other, because we've known each other a long, long time. And she lives not too far from me. We don't get to see each other much, but y'all know I don't get out much anyway. So last time I saw her was at our 40th high school reunion, which she wonderfully and graciously and successfully put together pretty much from the ground up. And it was amazing and heartwarming, and she's just a warrior in every respect. So here comes Shari. Make sure you don't have anything in your nose or stuck between your teeth or anything.
No.
Okay. Here's my friend Shari. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. So any outings today?
Yes, I had to go to a store and get some more flowers because I'm still decorating my house.
Okay.
And then got that all situated, and then I looked at my clock and it was like, oh, I'm fixing to be on the show.
Yeah, that's how it goes every Friday for me. I make the mistake of getting started with something. Again, I don't leave the house very often, but I'll make the mistake of getting started with something, and then last minute realize, oh my gosh, I've got 10 minutes to change my clothes. And so I tried to plan ahead a little bit more today. We've got boarders here, and one of them, he turned a year old at the beginning of February, and he's still very puppy, and he's still learning some manners, and he only has a little bulldog brother. So when he gets here around these big dogs, he gets to want to play like really rough, and it looks like fighting. So I'm like on edge all the time. So today's been kind of stressful. I put him in the crate just so he can be relaxed, and I don't have to be worried that in the middle of something important, I'm going to scream because it looks like somebody's about to have their throat slit. So do you want to tell viewers how we know each other?
From junior high school. We've known each other since junior high school choir. We were always in the show groups together in junior high and high school. Had some classes together, and we just had a lot of fun together, especially when we travel to sing at other places.
Oh, yeah. I only have happy memories of you. It's just so wonderful for me when I look back and have maintained connections with people, even if it's only through Facebook or online.
Exactly.
I realized that there was never anything negative.
Right. I mean, we didn't run around together other than choir, and then, Dimension Singers in first class.
Yeah.
But it was just, we had our own other friends, but I mean, we were like friends, so And then thank God through Facebook, I've reconnected with everybody.
Yeah.
And have done our 30th reunion and our 40th reunion. And guess who's probably going to do the 50th?
Yeah.
That would be me.
I thought you were going to retire from that.
Well, I thought I was going to retire after 30th, and I told everybody I wasn't doing this again.
Yeah, but then
And
you
then
realize
what
it won't happen
happened?
if you don't do it. Yeah.
Exactly.
I appreciate you for lots of reasons, but that's a huge one.
Well, I like being in charge because I'm a OCD, take charge kind of person. And as my mom always said, if they can't do it right, do it yourself.
Yeah.
Not that anybody, cannot do it right, but I just like doing it so that I can see other people. I don't do it for the glory or anything like that.
Well, you're good at it.
I just do it because I love doing that kind of stuff.
Sweet. Well,
and I have the time.
Everybody else loves it too.
Well, that's what everybody tells me.
I'm guessing this is Devin at Our New Land, Devin or Ryan, whichever one of you that is. Thanks for being here today. You've got some hellos from people in the chats. Can you see the chat from where you are?
Do I need to press the chat button?
You may, but I think then it takes it away from what you can see on the screen, which is not a big deal. You could just go back and forth if you want. I know a lot of times people tell me if they're on their phone, they can't see the chat.
And I'm on my phone, so I can't see them.
So that's fine.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, hello from Shari. So if I see a question or something directed to you in the chat, I'll put it on the screen, and then I'll make sure that you're aware of it.
Definitely.
So I want to talk about, the name of this thing.
The way all my doctors have told me, and all my other HS friends, because I'm in I was in support groups for the longest. Hidradenitis Suppurativa.
Okay.
Now, some of them pronounce it like you do.
Okay.
And then, of course, some of my friends in Australia, they pronounce it a whole different way. And I like the accent of my friends from the UK. Uh-huh. But it's Hidradenitis Suppurativa.
Okay. Not that it really matters how you say it, but I don't like to butcher stuff. We
just call it HS.
Okay, that helps. We're going to just use that then for the rest of the show.
There we go.
I touched on the fact that there is a family history of HS for you.
Yes. So my mother had it.
Okay. And when did she get diagnosed?
She had pilonidal cyst at 14 removed. Then she had me at 19 years old in 1963. 4 years later, my brother was born, and then she started seeing her face started changing. And she would get these like cysts on her face. So, but she also had it in the groin area. So, she ended up having a facial form of it and in the groin. Then my brother, when he turned 19, he started showing signs of it, like in the scrotal area. But his went around to like his buttocks and then up his back and his neck. And that's kind of the way men's will be, mainly under the arms, scrotal area, buttocks, and then sometimes your back.
Okay, interesting.
And his was bad. He didn't have insurance, so he never went to the doctor. Now, I was lucky, and I had my daughter at 26, and I had no problems, per se. HS did not show up on me until I was about 38. And it was started in the upper inner thigh, and then it just tracked all into my groin. And there's 3 stages. They call it the Hurley stage 1, which is like, a recurring cyst, basically in the same spot. Early stage 2, there's more places, and then it kind of like starts to track. But early stage 3 is the supposedly, the worst stage. But I think if there was a 4 and a 5 and a 6, I could have, outdone those two at one point. So trying to work, because in the groin, you get this cyst-like, boil-like lesion in, like in between your leg and your body or inner thigh, actually in your groin or, your private area on a labia per se. That is quite painful. And trying to put clothes on and trying to walk.
Yeah.
My daughter she doesn't remember me as never having it. So she says, I remember us having to go to the grocery store, and you would just cry out every time we would hit a bump or a pothole. So mine ended up getting so bad that in 2009, because let me go back. When they bust, it's like a blood pus goo coming out. Sometimes it can shoot out, sometimes it just pours out. But I had a lesion, and I thought I had it covered so well. And I went to work one Friday morning. It was Jeans Day. And before the work day even started, that lesion bust. And I could smell it before I even knew that it had bust. And I looked down, and there's blood and pus through the lesion because it was huge. So anyway, I went home, and I had to stop on the side of the road and called my mom because I was just like losing it. And, and I'm in my late 30s. And she said, stop by the house, get clean underwear, clean clothes, bring your bandages, come to the house. And so I did. And I just told her, I said, Mom, because at this time, I didn't know very much about it. I knew that she and I had it and Wesley had it, my brother. I thought we were the only people in the world. And I was so embarrassed. My friends didn't know, except for 2 close friends at work. I had to cancel doing things with people because you're fine the night before, and then you wake up the next day and it's there and there's nothing you can do. So I'd have to call and say, I'm sorry, I can't meet y'all tonight. Because I was single. I became single at 32 years old, single mom, and 31. So anyways, I'm trying to play mom and dad and work to support her. And, and I couldn't even do that. But I had met my husband now. I had met him in 2006, and we moved in 2006. We met at the beginning, and we moved into, my daughter and I moved in with him in the end of 2006. He knew what I had. I had already explained it all, told him about it, and he was fine. But that day in 2009, it was July 19th. I'll never forget it. We called him at work from my mom's house. And of course, I was crying. And I said, John, I can't go back to work. I've used up, I'm only averaging a week, a month working. Mm-hmm. So, he said, well, what do you, if you need better insurance, we'll put you on my insurance. And I'm like, no, I'm fine with my insurance. It's just the embarrassment of the smell walking by everybody. But anyways, that was my last day to ever work. And because it started tunneling to my underarms, that hurts because you end up, holding your arm up the whole time.
Yeah.
It's just, and I got onto Facebook and I found a lot of support groups. Thank God, because then that's when I realized that I was not like one of 3 people on this earth that had it.
Yeah.
I found out there are millions of people all around the world that have this. We all have various stages. We all have very different pain levels that we can handle. We also have very different outlooks. Some people are like, oh, woe is me. I have this. I can't do anything. Everything should be given to me. No, I was of, take charge, find a doctor that knew about it, and make sure they knew about it, because everything that you read on the internet back at that time, most of it was wrong.
Oh.
Very wrong. And doctors didn't even know what HS was. So we had to school doctors, medical doctors, and dermatologists of what HS is. So, I had been to a few like emergency clinics. They would lance it, it's just a boil. They lance it, they give you 2 weeks of antibiotics, they put a bandage on it, and they say, take this, it'll go away, you'll be fine. No. So it didn't work that way. So I learned a lot. But I also went to the doctor all the time, and I tried every type of medicine they wanted to put me on. I tried biologics, infusions, changing my diet, and what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for another.
Yeah.
It's everybody's different, and everybody's HS is different, and what helps one won't help the other.
Yeah.
But I have tried it all. I've even been a guinea pig for trying new medications. And you're talking, you got to be tested for tuberculosis. You've got to test for, are you allergic to this? And, it's just terrible. But I found out my main thing was I was not alone.
Yeah.
I was not the only person. So my mom and I were always, very worried about my daughter getting it. And so we were always like looking out for it as a child, because we knew what to look for. Then when she was a teenager in high school, she had a bump, but on the back of her leg, but it was just staph.
Okay.
But it was like,
sad. You'd have to be like glad that it was just staph.
Yeah, but that was like the precursor to HS.
Oh no.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because then she got a bump in the groin area, and she's like, Mom, she was so afraid of getting it because she'd seen everything I'd been through.
Right.
And so she said, can you look at this? Well, in our household, my mom, when she looks, and takes care of me after surgeries, we do it as a medical thinking.
Yeah.
And, and I said, yeah, I'll check it out, because Caitlin knew that I wasn't all up in her hoo-ha, just to be up there. So, and I always use gloves. My mom always used gloves. And I looked at it and it's like, Caitlin, is this one, you've had one here before? And she said, yes. And I'm like, it's ready to pop. Do you want me to pop it? And she said, yes. And when I did, I knew right away. I said, Caitlin, you have it.
Um,
And I'm so sorry. And we just both cried. So I ended up, after I stopped working, I've had over 30 surgeries to try to remove HS. I flew to New York in 2019 and had CO2 laser surgery. And that was the best thing I ever did. It took me 4 months to heal and grow skin again under my arms. But my mom was always the best doctor.
yeah.
And my dad even did it.
I wanted to tell you right quick. So, Shari in the chat is the one that had made a comment when I started advertising this stream. She says her daughter and niece got their HS after their children were born.
Some people's do.
And then Devin at Our New Land said, I bet it was so difficult thinking you were the only few people in the world to have it. I can't imagine.
It's the worst feeling in the world.
And hello, Marie at Our Okie Homestead. Thanks for being here. Hello, Emotion. Thanks for being here today. Dancing Alone with Reynolds. Thanks for being here in the chat today. Yeah, I mean, that would be true for any problem, whether it's a physical problem or not, to think that you're alone or that no one could understand.
Oh, yeah.
No one else has ever been through it. But when it's something so painful and so
God, yes,
impactful, I can't even imagine then the emotional part of it. Or
it's hard, but as you know me, you know I'm strong.
Oh yeah.
And I'm a warrior, and I earned every single scar I have on my body from this.
Yeah. Well, I remember being so excited too before you went to New York, and all the rigmarole of trying to find a doctor and fighting with the insurance.
Oh yeah.
And I was just so hopeful because I didn't know, again, don't know a lot about it still. But the CO laser thing, I thought, oh my gosh, good. She found somebody.
Yeah. But remember, I flew in to Ohio first and saw a doctor just outside of Cincinnati. And he's supposed to be like, one of the head honchos for HS. But he didn't want to accept insurance for it. He wanted me to pay him $6,000 and he would do it. And I'm like, my insurance was ready to pay.
Yeah.
They had already coordinated with Blue Cross Blue Shield in Cincinnati and said, yes, we'll pay for it. But he would not do it. He says, I only take cash.
Wow.
And I said, well, you're not getting my cash. You can, you know what I probably said.
Yeah, I guess when you're the head honcho, you think you don't have to play nice with people.
Oh, I don't. Not when it comes to that and my HS.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, do you realize that as many friends I have on that have HS on Facebook, I can ruin your company by mentioning your company name and your name. But I did it.
Yeah.
I just told people, don't go to Westlake.
Yeah.
So, luckily, my dermatologist, I live in Arlington, but I drove to Dallas and found her. She specializes in HS, does clinical research.
And what kind of doctor? Like, what is that specialty?
She's a dermatologist.
Okay. Because
it's a skin condition.
Okay.
It's just embarrassing. It's depressing. I went through a depression like awful before I ever found out other people had it.
Yeah. What, you didn't even know what it was, right? You didn't even know what it was.
Didn't know what it was. My mom went to UT Southwestern to have a spot looked at hers. And he said, oh, yeah, you have hidradenitis suppurativa. And she came home and she said, Shari, there's a name for what we have. And more people have it. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding. Because I had gone 6 years not knowing. She was 60 when she found out. So she'd gone that many years,
Yeah.
all in her 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. So anyways, it's like you have one, then it travels through your body. It tunnels. So even though you get it cut out, unless you get the tunnel, then you're still screwed. It's going to come back.
Yeah.
Or it'll tunnel elsewhere.
Come back after that surgery in New York, right?
I didn't go to New York. I went to Detroit.
Yeah, okay. But I mean, after you had that surgery, then
after the CO2 surgery in Detroit, no, I did not. I haven't had any problems.
Okay.
They ran, my dermatologist in Dallas worked under him or interned under him up there.
Okay.
And she said, he takes insurance. He's very nice. So I flew up there, checked him out. He knew what he was doing. He explained the procedure. Yes, he would, accept insurance. Let's get this scheduled. Let's get you taken care of. We're going to do both underarms at the same time. So I scheduled it for a month later because I had to get new, I had to schedule new flights, but this time for 3 people instead of 1, because my mom and my daughter went with me, so they could take care of me because I was have to stay there for a week.
Okay.
So we go in the day of my appointment, which was like the very next morning after we flew in that night. They do a sonogram on your underarms and mark all the tunnels so that they make sure they can get them all. That took the longest.
Just the
time.
Sonogram, just the
just doing the sonogram and marking both my underarms.
Wow.
That's what took the longest. And my mom and Caitlin, my daughter, got to be in there with me. So then they say, okay, we're going to roll you into the other room with the machine and we're going to do it. So I was awake. I was like,
my next question, do they put you out for that or?
They gave me a Xanax.
Okay.
Well, that didn't work. So they gave me another one, a little bit stronger. Well, I was in La La Land. And I watched them do it. I didn't feel it, but I watched them do it. And they just lasered that whole layer of skin under both my underarms off, discarded it, and all you see is the fatty tissue. Of course, they cauterized everything and cauterized what they thought might possibly be tunnels, packed it with Vaseline and non-adherent gauze and then gauze and just taped it all on my underarms. And yeah, I had to let the skin all grow back.
So are you like, it's all normal now? Like the skin's normal? Did it scar?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like, new skin grew in.
Okay.
And then you have to, exercise your arms going up and down, up and down.
Stretch that out. And
as it's growing, not mean, well, once it reaches a certain growth, but my dad even became good at putting the petroleum jelly all over it and the bandages and then taping it. As long as he, because I'd have like a spaghetti strap top on. So I'd take the spaghetti straps off. And then, he's just like, don't let your shirt fall. And I'm like, okay, fine. Yeah, mom didn't care, but my dad was like, I'll do this. And he started doing it all the time. But the skin grew back, and it took about 4 months.
Wow.
And for it to grow back. And I know it's scarred, but if I wear a t-shirt, nobody else really notices it. The good thing is I only have one little spot that grows hair, and I don't shave my underarms anymore.
Okay, well, there had to be some kind of silver.
Yeah, right?
So I know for women, a lot of times, women who've had babies, that's a great comparison when you're talking about other kinds of pain.
Yes.
Since you've had a baby, how would you compare? Is the pain of the HS more intense or worse than the pain of labor?
To me, an active cluster of lesions is worse than having contractions.
Okay. And that's
Yeah. It's just beyond excruciating.
Yeah. And then there's no sweet bundle of joy to come after all that.
Exactly. And then you get them in your underarms and stuff. Well, they look like they're really, really tiny on the outside.
Yeah.
But they're really big underneath the skin.
Yeah.
And I've had them as big as softballs in my inner thighs.
Did you get to see the sonogram itself? Were you able to see what they were seeing when they were mapping out all the time?
They turned it around for me because I said, can I see what you're seeing? And she said, let me find one.
Okay.
And, but I watched them mark everything.
Okay.
But yes, she turned the screen around for me and showed me. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's why I was asking. I wonder if it was like jaw dropping.
Yeah.
What was going on behind the scenes, kind of.
Right. So, of course, my daughter videotaped a lot of it as long as she stayed out of the way. But she was, grown adult.
Yeah.
This was back in 2019. She's fixing to turn 34.
Yeah.
So yeah. She videotaped a lot of them marking it and everything and stuff. I don't have the video, but I watched it. And then we went after I got out. They gave me pain meds, and they had already told me what I needed to bring. So, because anywhere I go, I have to pack medical supplies just in case.
Yeah.
But for that one, I had to pack a week's worth, but they gave me a lot too. And so anyways, haven't had any problems with my underarms, but I had it under my breast really bad. And I'd had a couple of surgeries for it, but the doctor just didn't get the tunnels. So it's just always been a constant irritation under both breasts. Not necessarily a big lump, and just a ton of pus and goo, but and blood. But it was just always there and itching. It itches when they fill up on me. So I can always tell when one's fixing to come up, no matter where it's at, because it starts itching really bad.
I wanted to say hello to Tiffany at Canadian Family Life. Sorry I missed it when you came in, but I just now saw that you're chatting. So thanks for being here today. So is there the most commonly prescribed, is there any kind of oral medication or topical thing you can put on, or that a lot of doctors prescribe? Or
Everything I have tried, I have taken all of the cyclines, doxycycline, spironolactone, taken everything you can imagine. I've taken so much medicine. I have used creams, clindamycin orally and topically. What's it called? Penoxidil or something like that. It's like a you wash with it.
okay,
Of course, I have a gallon of Hibiclens in my cabinet now because I just finally, most of the time when I have surgeries, they are like, well, wash with this. I'm like, I got Hibiclens at home. I'll be glad to douse myself because I need to use it and get it out of my cabinet. It's taking up space.
You talked a little bit about diet, I think, too. Did you find that there were things you had to avoid?
Well, doctors would tell you to lose weight and to stop smoking. Now, of course, smoking doesn't help anybody,
right,
for a lot of things, causes cancer.
Right.
But I was a smoker. But here's the deal. When I was 38 and got HS, I'm tall. I'm 5'8". I wore a size 3 or a size 5 all through my 20s and 30s. I was skinny like a model.
Yeah.
I was built like a model.
Yeah.
But here I am at the time I was a size 5 and I was a smoker. And, I watched what I ate. I never ate a whole lot, but I went from being super active to so sedentary that I gained 70 pounds that first year.
Yeah.
And then I just kept gaining and gaining.
Yeah.
And it was in 2019 when we had to weigh in Alaska to fly on the helicopter. And both my husband and I, we were over the 250 limit. So we had to pay $150 each to get on the helicopter. So then I was like, damn, I'm 260. I was big. But I'm taller. So 260 on me looks way different than like what it would look on you because you're shorter than I am.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, I'm looking for that picture. It's one of my favorite pictures of you. And I think you recently posted it. Oh, here's one. I want to share this one. Are you okay with me sharing a picture from
I don't mind. I don't mind.
So let me pull this up. It's not the one I was thinking of, but I love this one too. But y'all, she's not exaggerating that she was like model, thin, and beautiful. Oh, there we go.
Oh, gosh, yeah. That was in 1997. I was 34.
Okay. But I'm looking, there's another one. You're standing up. You've got a short skirt or a short dress on.
It's a red dress. It was New Year's of 97.
Your hair is super long.
Yes. My 30s was, up until HS hit me, my 30s were the best. They were the best. Oh, I saw it on the top of that when you pulled those pictures up. I thought, oh, maybe not. Look on my page because it just...
Yeah, you just shared it. Not too
long. I did.
Are you okay with having your hair? I'll stop this.
I don't care. I don't care.
But this way we can see you here.
It's because, if I don't know these people.
There it is. All right, here it is.
Okay.
This is one of my favorite pictures of you, partly because you're wearing red.
Well, of course. Red.
And this is just how I remember you. Like, this was like, I see this and like, this was the you that I remember from way back when.
Right.
Let's show you guys this picture because I love it.
Yep,
So
that was me.
that's, again, and so that's not what anybody could call overweight or
No,
unhealthy.
that's
So
36, 24, 35.
I would imagine that over time,
I was 130 pounds.
yep, and at 5'8", that's very slim.
Well, everybody thought I weighed less, but the thing is, I was well toned.
Yeah.
You know, muscles heavier than fat.
Yep.
So yeah, but those were the best. That was the best time of my life
Yep. That's how.
until HS hit, and
Yep.
then like that picture, those pictures you just showed, I went by time I started getting HS bad enough where I needed to move in with my parents, temporarily.
Yep.
Me and my daughter, because my husband or my ex-husband had moved to California. I went from 130 to, 200 pounds.
Wow.
And then I
Move
just,
around. I mean, you can't even move around and be active and right.
no, but I mean, I couldn't move because it hurt.
So painful, yeah.
Yeah. And the people at my last job that I ended up having to quit, but they are the ones that helped me get on disability. Because I just couldn't go back to work, And so once I exhausted all my short-term and long-term disability, then they helped me file for Social Security disability.
Good. Okay. And hello to the Bud Files and Connie Cleary. Thank you guys for being here today.
Hi, everybody.
So so you say the doctors talked about.
They would say, lose weight, and because skin to skin contact doesn't help. Okay. Granted, if you're already heavy,
right,
and you get it, well, even if you lost weight, you're still going to have it because you've got skin to skin contact still.
Right.
But the thing, when they told me, well, you need to lose weight and quit smoking, and I said, guess what? I was model thin when I got HS. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So, when I got HS, I couldn't have lost weight. Otherwise, I would look like a skeleton with skin.
Then you'd have other problems, yeah.
Yeah, I said I gained the weight because of my HS because I couldn't do anything anymore. But yes, I did quit smoking. And then when I did that, I knew that I needed to lose the weight. So I started, after my mom, that was the year my mom passed. After that, because I had always told her, I really need to do this. And she said, yeah, you do. She said, you've already quit smoking. So now you need to, try to lose some of this weight, Shari. And I'm like, okay. So I did. Took me 3 years. I lost over 100 pounds. And then in June, because of the weight loss, I had that little flap over the belly that was not going to go nowhere because it was so stretched. So I had a mommy makeover.
How is that recovery going?
I'm doing well. Okay. I'm doing well. So I had the surgery, the tummy tuck, got rid of that pouch because I did not want the HS to move up underneath that flap.
Yeah.
So I did that. They did liposuction, and then I had a breast lift because I was always a 36C until I had HS. Then I gained all this weight. Well, then I became like a 44 triple D. Now, you tell me what happens when you lose all this weight. Where do those 44 triple Ds go?
No kidding.
So when you're having to dig, down around your waistline to find your boobs to put up in your bra cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just wanted a breast lift, and then I would decide later after the breast lift if I wanted to go with implants or not.
Okay.
Um, my I'm a 38D.
Okay.
I'm happy.
Okay.
So I told him last Tuesday when I went, because he's like, "Do you love it?" I'm like, "I absolutely love my body now.
Good. Good.
I can bounce a quarter off my stomach if I wanted to." And he said, "What about your breast? Are you happy with them?" And I'm like, "I love them. I'm not going to get an implant.
Okay. Good. Good.
I love them."
Good.
And oh my God, it like freaked me out because I looked, and I'm sitting in the recliner, and that first week I kind of looked down and peeked, and I'm like, "Oh, I can see my nipple. I don't have to
It's
dig."
not on the floor.
Yeah. And my dad, she was going to be my stepmom, but my dad died before that. She stayed with me, and she just started laughing. And I just told her, I said, "Quit making me laugh."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it hurt because they do that corset stitching.
Yeah.
But yes, it was all worth it. And I don't have to really worry about the HS in that flap now.
Good.
He's going to build me a new hoo-ha
Okay.
once I'm all. He, he said, "We're just going to fix all of that HS." He said, "We're going to do skin grafts and stuff." He said, "But we're going to try to get you." I've had so many surgeries, it looks mutilated.
Oh, yeah.
So he says, "We're going to get that fixed up once you're healed enough." And I'm like, "Okay, that's fine."
So back to like diet. So now, do you stick with a certain kinds
I
of foods?
I I eat a low fat, low carb, low sugar, high protein diet.
Okay.
I don't eat when I eat meat, it's no bigger than my fist.
Okay.
I do what people are supposed to do.
Okay.
If we go out to eat, I pick something that I can eat up to 4 meals because that's 4 meals for me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes, I eat very little, but I eat multiple times a day.
Okay.
Um, it's like, a heaping tablespoon of vegetables. There's certain things that I can eat a lot. I can eat like a whole salad. I love salad, but I choose everything I eat is for fuel.
Okay.
Okay. And then I have high protein, but I also keep protein shakes in my refrigerator. And I have protein powder that I'll add to stuff if I want to do that way. But yeah, my diet is just healthy and proportionate.
Okay.
Everything, I mean, I would much rather go out and eat and I usually eat off the kids' meal, but usually it's something like a grilled cheese sandwich and a corn dog or a hot dog.
Okay.
So I will, I love Italian food. And so usually that's what I go with because I don't mind it warmed up. There's
Right.
certain things I don't want leftovers.
Right. Right.
But yeah, I eat a healthy diet now. And John has to also because of his health.
Okay.
So, and I eat a lot of low sodium. Like I always cook low sodium meals
Okay.
when he's home because he has to watch his sodium intake.
Right.
But yeah, I eat healthy now. I eat proper portions. And then I have snacks that I use Greek yogurt instead of mayonnaise for a lot of stuff.
Okay.
I use more herbs than I ever thought I would ever have. I mean, I have a whole cabinet and it's just herbs and stuff now. Whereas before it was like I was lucky if I had salt and pepper,
Yeah.
but now I have, and I know how to use them all.
Okay.
So that's how, there's nothing. John loves when I make like what we call my grilled vegetables. And, I have a big, huge pan and I just throw everything in there and just start shaking bottles in there.
Okay. Well, now that you are where you love your body, you're
Mhm.
at a good weight, your HS is not just taking over your life. Do you have any
Yeah.
trips planned? Do you have any life
Yes.
to catch up on?
Yes. I have half of my uncle's ashes. I have all of my dad's ashes. And I have all mom's. But dad's fiance and I, because she's still family, and I usually just say she's my stepmom, but she's family and always will be. And I know, and I told her anybody you date or end up marrying, they're family. She and I are going in October. We're going to Nashville where my uncle lived and loved living until he had to come here to live after his stroke. We're going to spread his ashes in Nashville. And because I know I caught him, he loved Nashville. And I had caught him crying one evening when I went in to check on him in his room because he was up late. And he's like, I just miss home. And so Joyce and I decided, we're going to take him back to Nashville. And then we're going to go do that on his 1-year death date. And then 2 days later is what would have been my dad's 79th birthday. Well, he always wanted to go back to a place called Tail of the Dragon. It's like 11-mile road down the mountain. And there's like 300 and something turns.
Oh.
And he did that immediately after he retired. He hauled his Harley out there. It's like at the border of South Carolina and Tennessee.
Okay.
So we're going to go there. We're going to try to talk some Harley riders into letting us ride behind. And both of us will just let Dad loose. If that doesn't work, then her car's got the panoramic top instead of just a sunroof or a moonroof. And we're going to take Dad and we're going to spread him there because that's where he wanted to go. I'll probably leave a little bit of him in Tennessee because that's where we were born.
Right.
And then next year, hopefully John and I will go after Thanksgiving to Germany and do all the Christmas markets.
Nice. Oh,
yeah.
Nice. Okay.
We just can't do a vacation this year because he was off work for 5 months with that broke leg.
Yeah.
So, and
y'all
then
met your quota for sure with health.
Oh yeah, we have. And then Caitlin and I and my grandson Roman, the three of us are going to go at the end of October, and we're just going to go down to Granite Shoals, which is right next to Marble Falls. And we've got a cabin on the little lake, and we're going to take Mama down and half of her, and just kind of let her out in some of the, scatter her around pretty scenery and water. That's her thing. But I found out that she always wanted to be spread in Haiti because that was their mission. Caribbean Baptist Mission Society. And they always went to Haiti every summer. Those were her people. They called her Mama Mary. They loved her. and Dad was the president of it. And Mom was a secretary. And they had started this with some other friends. And Mom said, I wanted, she said, Caitlin knows, because Caitlin went one year. She said, Caitlin knows the cliff that I want to be thrown off of.
Oh, nice.
And I'll land in water, and that's where I want to be. Well, it's too dangerous for me to go.
Okay.
None of our group will go now. I've never been because, heat, stress, and
Right.
sweating are
Yep.
3 major triggers for HS.
Right.
Hormones, just, oh my God, just terrible. But anyways, I never got to go, but Caitlin did. And so she said, so I want you and Caitlin to go to Haiti and spread my ashes. She knows where to go. Well, I can't. But I was speaking to one of the other members not too long ago, and he said, Shari, we can get your mom there. Next time Don comes over here, he said, we'll find a way to get your mom to him in Florida. I said, well, if that's where I got to go, I'll fly down to Florida and take her to him if he can spread her other ashes.
Yeah. Oh,
so
nice.
I get to do, I get to give her wish.
Right.
And Dad's too, because he said he wanted to be on Tell of the Dragon.
Nice.
So
a couple more hellos. Rebecca from Rebecca Touched by Yarn, thank you for being here. And Julie and Andy, Urban American Homestead, thank you guys for stopping in. Does anyone have questions for Shari? Anyone else in the chat that's been directly impacted or has a family member or a friend that has suffered with HS? Sound off and let us know.
Yeah.
Questions. Was there like a main resource, a main place where you went to research or get information or?
My main thing was I found the HS support groups on Facebook, but then you get into it. It was depressing for me because most of the people are just, oh, woe is me.
Right.
I just have it so bad. Well, even if you don't have it as badly as somebody else, you still have HS and it's still depressing and it still affects you.
Yeah.
Which it did me. I mean, I had it bad. But I just couldn't handle the oh, woe is me. And then
so negative,
the cattiness that was in there was just awful.
How sad.
I know, right? So I got out of all of them because we had a HS weekend in Arkansas. And so one of the Australian ladies, her and her best friend came over. A couple of the UK people came. And then some other people from all over the area, South Carolina, California, and some other. We had a lot of people. We probably had about 100, I think.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so that helped a lot, just being with other people and then actually getting to see their HS.
Yeah.
Because like one girl had it and she was overweight. I mean, we all were, basically. And she had it like in all of her folds in her stomach. And I was lucky I didn't have that. But just talking about it, it helped. And then I found out I wasn't alone. That helped me immensely, my mental health.
Yeah.
And, but I had to get out of it because then it just got so depressing.
Yeah.
And and all these new people coming in and they're like, but the doctor says to do this. And it's like, your doctor's an idiot. They don't know what the hell they're talking about, and you've got to be proactive for yourself.
Well,
Just because they're the doctor does not mean they're correct.
Right.
So, anyways, I had to get out of them. I stayed in one, and but I don't go in there anymore because I have my core people that I still talk to.
Yeah.
And it's because I met them and I love them dearly.
Yeah.
And, and like you're always, lighting a candle and praying and, thinking of me when I do put it out there. Because know this, if I put it out there that I'm hurting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure there's more times that you just don't say anything and it's bad.
Yeah.
So, that's what I've thought. If it's bad enough, I'm sharing it.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's lots of times I may be hurting and I just don't say anything because I don't want to be a whiner. Because it's not going to do me any good.
Yeah.
It's not going to go away.
Yeah.
There is no cure. There are some treatments, but for me, what would work, then my body would adjust to that medicine and it didn't work anymore. And and it's like, no, and I'm already at the highest dose. And I finally just said, I'm done.
Yeah.
I can't do this to my body anymore.
Yeah.
I had an allergic reaction to one of the, after having like 3 infusions, the 4th time I went, same thing that I've done 3 other times, but I turned beet red and I was itching and starting to swell. And they almost took me to the hospital. They almost called the ambulance. But then I told them, I said, no, just call my friend because I have a nurse friend. And come to find out through me, she found out that her oldest daughter, that's what her daughter has, HS. One of my daughter's sorority sisters that I was friends with on Facebook, she asked Caitlin, she said, would you ask your mom if I can call her and talk to her about what she has? She did, and come find out she has HS.
Oh, no.
Beautiful young girl. It's sad. But for me, it opened me up to where I raise awareness. I am not quiet about it. I will talk to a complete stranger. I have been in some, for one of my dermatologists, they had various dermatologists come to this hospital, and it was like a closed portion of it, but it was still like the old ER rooms. They came in and there were various people in each room, and my room was about HS. I stripped down. I went and bought a new bra and new panties, and that's what I wore. And I kept a gown on, but if they wanted to see it, I showed it to them. It was just to learn about different things. I don't know what the guy next to me had in his room, but I've told everybody, if I could go on national TV and strip down and show what HS is and explain what it is, I would do it.
Yeah, and
in a heartbeat.
It's interesting because I know you shared something with me. We have a mutual friend, and you shared with me that she had an encounter with someone, and because of what she knows about HS now, because of your friendship with her, she was able to tell someone that didn't know.
Oh, Rob.
That she had that's what it was.
Yes, because she worked in the emergency room.
And it makes me wonder how many people are out there, they don't even know what it is. They have it, they're struggling, they're hurting, and they don't even know. Yeah.
My nurse friend, Sharon, her name's Sharon. I've known her for a long time too. But I've known Rob since junior high.
Yeah.
But Sharon, I've known for about 20 years. And she's been in actually some of my surgeries that I had here in Arlington. She's a scrub tech.
Okay.
So she has seen, well, more of me than quite, well, she's seen
Most
more of
people.
me than my own husband because she's seen inside my body.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But, she knows what HS is now. So she works, um, with lots of people. Right now she's doing, she does C-sections. She's always the scrub tech in the C-sections
Okay.
over at Baylor.
Okay.
And there are some moms that come in and their HS and some HS will improve with pregnancy, which is what happened to my daughter. And then some, it gets worse.
Interesting.
I have one friend in the UK that she got HS before puberty.
Oh.
And everything you read or are told by a medical professional say that this happens after puberty.
Mm.
Her daughter is 8 years old, and she just announced that her daughter has HS now.
This is
And
from
she,
Marie. Yeah, from Marie at Iroquois Homestead. People always make negative comments about social media, but they forget to mention the upside of it. People
exactly.
together and talking about life experiences, it helps knowing you're not alone.
That is so true. That is so true.
That's the primary purpose again of you coming on the show today. I want people to learn about this because it was new to me, so I'm still learning. But I just know there's always the possibility that somebody will see this.
Yes.
They don't understand that that's what's happening with them. They don't.
Yes.
They don't know what it is. They've learned to live with it. They're dealing with the embarrassment and the depression and the inability to even be comfortable enough to be at work, and they don't know what it is. They don't know where to start. And so that's my hope, is that somebody will see this and think, oh my gosh, maybe that's it. Maybe there's, information does make a difference. Knowledge is power.
Right.
And I knew you would be great at talking to us. So,
well, you know me, I can talk to a tree and make conversation.
So grateful and honored that you would come on. So this is the first in my Invisible Illness series. And I thank you for
having me.
Yes. So again, if no questions from the chat, I'm going to turn you loose. You're welcome to hang out. What I do for the next part of the show is typically just YouTube related stuff, and we talk about channel things and what's going on here at Rich Cat Ranch. And if you guys think of questions after the fact, you can put them in the comments for the stream once we're not live anymore, and then I'll pass those along to Shari.
Yeah, I do. I mean, if anybody, wants to speak to me about it, I'm more than happy to. Kathy, just get my approval first.
Yeah.
Because you know me, I'm always going here, there, and yonder whenever I can.
Yeah.
I mean, I stay home when I have to, and then if I'm having a good day, I am off and running.
Yeah.
So but I would be more than happy to help somebody else that has it. Questions, if they're local, who to go see. I have the perfect dermatologist.
Okay. Yeah.
And now I have the perfect plastic surgeon that knows about HS.
Yeah. So a great resource right here, guys. So if you meet someone, even maybe it's not going to be anybody that I know directly, but if somebody knows somebody, I still see a great potential for this to be a blessing and a resource.
Oh yeah.
So again, thank you for being on the show today.
You're very welcome.
Right.
Thank you. I love you too.
Be safe. Enjoy the grandbaby, and I'll be excited to watch for the updates on your travels to spread some ashes. I still
yes. You know me. My life story is on Facebook.
But again, it's a blessing all around, and I appreciate you for a whole lot more things than you realize.
Honey, I feel the same way about you.
All right. Love you.
All right. Love you too, doll.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
All right, that was my friend Shari. I hope you guys learned something. I even learned things today, and this is in spite of the fact that I've kind of been following her journey with the information that she has shared on Facebook. Um, I remember being struck at how how great she looked, how great she did, and how functional she was for that 40th reunion. That was back in 2021, and but knowing that so much of this stuff was happening behind the scenes. So I can't imagine pulling off what she pulled off and having to deal with just some really, really painful, debilitating health issues. So um, I'm glad you guys were here for that. If you missed any of the interview, obviously you can rewatch or run it back and start from the beginning. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and do our channel stats. We'll talk a little bit about things that are happening here at Rich Cat Ranch. Let me get my screen share set up again. Oops, wrong button. And I do have some other guests lined up now. My August 25th stream is booked, and I will have a licensed psychologist and family counselor here to talk with us about mental health and wellness. Another, invisible illness, so to speak, or at least that can be another invisible illness. And a lot of people don't know, how to get help or where to get help. So I know she's going to be a great resource of information for us there. And then I'm scheduling just before the show, even I was messaging with someone who will be on the show. We don't have a date set for sure yet. The 18th is where I have him penciled in, but he's just making arrangements so that will work. And he'll talk with us about aplastic anemia. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. There was a movie once upon a time. Let me take this off until I finish talking. There was a movie once upon a time with John Travolta, The Boy in the Plastic Bubble. You guys may have seen that movie. I remember liking that movie. Maybe that seems weird. I liked John Travolta for sure. His younger years, I was a fan. But The Boy in the Plastic Bubble, and that character in the show, if I remember correctly, had aplastic anemia. It was the first time I'd ever heard of it back then. And then when I met Alex, who I know through the German Shepherd Rescue we both work with, I learned that he is an aplastic anemia survivor. So he does a lot in spreading awareness and helping to educate about that condition. So, so at least we've got some people that have seen that movie. Ooh, let's do a quick update here. So, Andy and Julie, and I'm still doing interviews with channels, Andy and Julie. I'd love for you to maybe consider being on the show sometime and let me interview one or both of you. And it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't have to be a small channel. If you'd want to come on, that holds true for anyone. I'll put the email address up again if you are interested in being on the show, because I'll still be sprinkling those interviews in. Again, August, I'm trying to focus on the invisible illness series, but the interviews with content creators will always be a thing. So let me know if that's something that you're interested in doing. And before I get any farther, too, I want to say thanks now for those who might be part of the rewatch crew that are checking out today's stream. Kudos to you guys for stopping in to give me a watch. But now let me pull back up my spreadsheet, and we'll just go over some subscriber count, channel info for our channel members and previous guests on the show. And again, some of the channel members have been guests on the show, not all of them. Some of them just aren't ready to be the spotlight on the camera, so I haven't been able to talk them into doing an interview with me yet. But without further ado, Our friends Nina and Boyce, Texas neighbors of ours at Rooted in Texas here on YouTube, are at 885 subscribers today. Ordered Steps is holding steady at 1,320 something. My friend Akashi Chris at Mind Fork is at 465. My friend Byron and another Texas neighbor of ours at 12 Stones Ranch is at 1,690 something. My friend Joe Hupp here on YouTube, who is in Australia, is at 319. Jesse and Lisa at Lazy Days Ahead with Jesse and Lisa, some more Texas neighbors of ours, are at 1,480 something today. Jerry and Susan at Butler Family Farm are at 1,680 something today. Jerry is in the chat today, so you guys be sure and say hello and check out your channel. Oh, and I just saw your comment, Jerry. Thank you for that. I am feeling good. Life is pretty good right now. Again, I'm so excited about this project I got done this week that's just really motivated me, and I'm just feeling pleased and proud, and I'll be excited to share that with you guys when I get that video put together. My friend Gary at Belt Loop 29 here on YouTube is holding on to his 2,410 through 19, whatever that final number is, subscribers. David Hunt is at 584 today. Mark at Corner Clubhouse Cobalt is at 1,230 something. Brian and Shirley at Just Doing Our Best, they're at 1,570 something. And then Drunken Chef Barbecue is up to 1,310. And then previous guests on the show, again, some of those channel members have also been guests on the show, but these are other channel content creators that I've interviewed on the show. So if you see a name that interests you, I encourage you to go back and find that episode so you can get to know these content creators. My friend Lee from the UK at First Floor Audio is up to 1,230 something subscribers. Adam Sky, also from the UK, is at 317. Our friends and Texas neighbors Jeff and Lorena at Back to Country Homestead are at 776. My friend Amanda at Bare Bones Living is holding on to her 719 subscribers. Bearded Eagle, who is bearded again, is at 1,240 something. Ashley at CNC Farm is at 1,940 something. My friend Tiffany, who's here in the chat today, is at 1,400 plus. So it's 1,400 to 1,409. So loving seeing that number go up. My friend Heather at Come Hither with Heather in Australia is at 1,020. I encourage you to check out her, I think it's the most recent live stream. I'm just really sad and frustrated about an experience that she had and the way she was treated about something that I just think it's really sad. So check that out. Go show her some love and support. Bye, Marie. Thank you for being here today. Let's see. My friend Danielle at Danny Days Ahead is at 1,080 something today. Dawn Ray B is at 526. Brittany and Big K at Flannel Hill Farm are at 256. Jen and Steve at Good Times Homestead with Jen and Steve are holding on to their 1,000 subscribers. John at Home Bartending with John is at 401 subscribers. Peter at Lawyer You Know is at, that is not a typo, 258,000 subscribers today. Katie at Mayfield Ranch is at 1,160. Millionaire Paul at Millionaire Paul, the Millionaire Channel, is at 278. I'm excited to announce that I will be a sponsor for his channel. His sponsorships run for 5 videos in a row. So I think there's a couple of weeks left for the current sponsor. And then that next sponsor position that will be open will be my sponsor position. So you guys go check out his channel over the coming weeks. And I'll be looking for you there. Mountain Grandma Tammy is at 857. Tiffany at Mud and Mascara Homestead is at 512. Nick, another Texas neighbor of ours at Multi-Hunter 24/7, is at 1,030 something. Ginger at Not For Nothing Homestead is at 1,020 something. Devin and Ryan at Our New Land, some more Texas neighbors of ours. Devin was in the chat earlier, not sure if he's still here right now. They are at 4,510 subscribers. Again, great story, great family, great content, great channel. You guys check them out. Nancy at Our Treasured Home, who just arrived in chat. Hello, Nancy. Let me get a drink of water. Is at 1,090 something subscribers. Marin at Palma Pioneer Pantry is at 301. I did send her an email, y'all, because she's not posted any new content in several months on the channel, but I haven't heard back from her. If I didn't update you guys, I did hear back from Byron at 12 Stones Ranch. Everything's fine, and he has now posted a video here and there, so everything is okay. I haven't heard back yet from Pawpaw's Kitchen, Stephen at Pawpaw's Kitchen. That's the next coming up on the list here. So the mom mode in me does kick in every now and then when I don't see new content and I don't hear from someone, because life happens and things happen. And, you know, I don't want to be a worrywart, but I like to keep up with the people that I feel like I know best here through YouTube because of YouTube. So I'll reach out to him again and make sure everything is okay. But he is at 330 subscribers today. My friend Shane at Paralife TV, your everyday wheelchair ninja, is at 1,970 something subscribers today. John Pedroza at Pedroza Travel is at 1,090. My sweet friend Vicky Lund at Psychology Noir with Dr. Lund is at 1,040. She just posted a new video. I haven't seen it yet. I think it just went up yesterday. And I think it's the Taylor Shabusiness debacle. That, you know, I could not be a psychologist. Just some of the just scary, bizarre, twisted, psychological malfunction stuff that they have to deal with from time to time. I just don't know how long I could tolerate it. And so her videos deal with that kind of stuff on her channel. So I think Taylor Shabiz, I think this is, I'm thinking of the right one. This woman had her last name changed to Shabusiness. I thought maybe it was some like weird foreign European name, but she just had it changed to that. Anyway, she's at 1,040 something subscribers today. Wes and Jess at Rich New Design, they are up to 505 subscribers. Ronnie and Brittany, RB Story, friends of ours in California, are at 722. My friend David, another Texas neighbor at Safe and Sound Texas Audio Excursion, is at 2,660 something. My friend Shannon at Shanster Travels is at 654. I think she is currently on a cruise in Alaska. So go check out some beautiful stuff at her channel right now. My friend Sparrow Spalding is at 1,420 something subscribers. Kenny and Debbie at The Adventures of Kenny and Debbie are at 728. My friend Angela at The Inquisitive Farm Wife is at 1,830 something. My friend Dino at The Late Late Horror Show is at 112,000 subscribers. My longtime friend Tom Salta is at 989. John and Sarah at Two Doves, Bees and Gardens, they are at 1,670 something subscribers. The Vineyard Chicks are at 4,590. They just posted a really neat video. They performed at, I think it was a state fair or a county fair. And they have a real neat, I just love how they did the transition. So they have little clips of some of the songs they performed, and then they just blend them together with these neat transitions. I thought it was great. It looks like they did great. It sounds like they did great. And they're just wonderful people, beautiful people, sweet, sweet young ladies. So I'd love for you to go and show them some love and support. My friend Ralph at Webb's Web is at 1,040 something subscribers. My friend Robin at What the Flock is at 563. Steve Robson at Wild Macro Art is holding on to that 24. Again, not a working channel really, but some fun stuff to see there. And you guys know I love some of the littlest critters in the world. So he focuses a lot on spider photography. And I think it just gives you a whole new perspective. A lot of people have issues, obviously, with spiders, but you look at some of these pictures that Steve puts together, and I just don't know how you can't love them. So go show him a little love. And then Fat Ninja DM is holding at 433 subscribers. So that's it for channel updates. Apparently it is Rebecca's birthday. Rebecca, if it's your birthday, happy birthday to you. If it's not your birthday, I missed your birthday. Belated happy birthday to you. But Devin, looks like Devin is in the know. So anyone else having a birthday or a birthday that I missed, happy birthday to you. Okay, let me take this screen down. And I don't have any other graphic things I wanted to show you, I don't think. I'm so tempted to give you a glimpse at what's been going on here, this project that I'm doing, because I'm really proud of something that I'm seeing over here beside me. I did want to share with you guys, in case you didn't notice, because of this new project that happened here that I finished this week, the layout is a little different. So I'm in a different spot, still in the living room, but I like this spot a whole lot better. I feel like the lighting is better right here. Definitely my backdrop is better. I don't know if you can see all of this stuff behind me. This is kind of just our knick-knack, catch-all. I mean, there's some YouTube-related stuff here. There's some travel-related stuff here. I don't know how much of it you can see. I may do a show where I just go over all that you can see here. I will tell you that this right here, that's Rhett and Link. If you guys haven't heard me talk about Rhett and Link before, Good Mythical Morning is the name of their YouTube channel. And we've been following them. Well, I had been watching them for a long time before Richard gave them a try. They're some funny guys. They're both engineers by trade who gave up that profession to become YouTube internetainers. I think that's what they call themselves. They create internetainment on YouTube. And it's just fun, silly, goofy, family fun. It's just a great escape from life. But they're both just very personable and charming and cute and funny. And so we are in their like little fan club thing. And once a quarter, they send, you get like a gift. And so that's some of what we've gotten is what you see up on that top shelf. There's some stuff on this other shelf down here too. So again, that's a whole nother episode, or maybe I'll do a video on that. But not a whole else going on. I've got one watermelon growing in the garden. It's just been so hot. I think even watering every day, because now we haven't had rain in at least 3 weeks. And so I'm watering with the hose. And so I've got one watermelon growing. I had 2 other watermelons growing, and they both got blossom end rot. So I'm not going to get watermelons out of that. But the other one looks good. If I can just keep it watered enough, I think I'm going to get a wonderful watermelon out of that one. And then I saw my very first pepper just this morning. I saw a pepper on one of the pepper plants. I'd really been concerned about why I wasn't getting a lot of fruit. I didn't get much squash before the squash vine borers arrived. I don't know why. I want to say they like cucumbers too, but I have still been harvesting cucumbers from time to time. I'm going to be making another batch of pickles soon. Probably this weekend I'll make myself another batch of pickles. I don't want it to be as spicy as the last batch, so and I don't want them to be quite as sour. So I'm going to play a little bit with my water to vinegar ratio, and I don't think I'll use the red pepper flakes for sure. And I'll probably cut back a little bit on the peppercorns. I might make a smaller batch also, because I didn't quite finish that other jar before it started looking like it probably wasn't good to still eat them. They will keep in the refrigerator for a few weeks for sure, but I don't want to take any chances, especially not since it was my first time to make them. but I enjoyed that process of making pickles, and I've got some more cucumbers I need to use. So I'm going to try slicing them next time, like in, hamburger or sandwich slices, and see how those turn out. So I should have a report on that for you within the next week or so. Again, so the living room is set up a little differently. It looks much bigger in here. It's a big living room anyway, but because we had the turtle tank right here in the living room, that's a clue about this project. It's just opened it up so much. So, fun things happening. I'm feeling good. Aside from having to be out in the heat sometimes, it's all good. But physically, emotionally, spiritually, I'm feeling really good. As always, I'm honored and I'm humbled that even one person shows up for a live stream. So when I have multiple people here for a live stream, I'm just that much more moved. So you guys will always be a huge encouragement to me and a great support to me. I still am posting, in case you've missed it, I'm still putting out a short every day. And it's so interesting to just see what people gravitate toward. So I'll every now and then create a short, and right away when I create it, I'll think, I don't know, probably nobody's really going to like that, or I don't know if anybody will get it, but I posted, it has to do, I'm kind of OCD, not like Monk, not like that. I've had to give up a lot of perfectionism. I had 4 kids in 5 years. That was the first lesson. That's hard to be a perfectionist when you've got that many kids in general, but that many kids close together. I had to learn that I couldn't spend my whole life just cleaning up after everyone, or I wouldn't enjoy having them. And now we've got all the animals, so I've learned to just live with paw prints on the floor and dog hair around the furniture and toys scattered around. But I'm still kind of OCD, and I'll catch myself every now and then doing things. And so I caught myself doing something, and I posted a short about it, and man, it took off. So I guess there's some other OCD sufferers out there that got it. I guess people got it. And yet it wasn't one that I thought was going to do very well. And then I'll have others that I think are really cute and sweet, and they mean a lot to me, and they don't really do well. Interestingly enough, the ducks and geese here definitely do not perform as well in videos as the dogs. The dogs, especially for shorts, the dogs they are the leader for sure. A short has to do with the dog. The cats are, I wouldn't say they're close behind, but they're not too far behind the dogs. And then other things, it's just kind of hit and miss whether or not it works. So still putting out shorts. It is growing the channel subscriber wise, but I do see that the subscriber count is not the only thing to focus on, because the people that come and subscribe for the shorts, it looks like they really just come for the shorts. They're here for the shorts. I don't know that they don't watch live streams. So the people that are watching shorts, like new people to the channel that watch a short and subscribe, I don't think they're here for live streams. But it's still fun to watch the numbers go up. And I love the feeling I get when I create something, anything, and people like it. People watch it, people share it, or comment on it. So I thank all of you that have commented on videos and clicked the like button or shared the video with people. That's what grows a channel. That's what connects more people, is that when the people that are visiting your channel share your channel with others and interact with the videos on your channel. You could have 100 subscribers or 100,000 subscribers. And if those things aren't happening, the liking, the sharing, the commenting, then you're not really gonna realize the potential that you could have. That's my take on it anyway. I don't know how many of you follow Nate Black. So he was kind of the face for channel makers for a long time, since when I first came across channel makers. And he has left channel makers. I don't think it was like a bad blood thing or anything. He just had kind of a different vision for where he wanted things to go. Well, he started his own channel. I was kind of surprised that he didn't already have his own YouTube channel. He started his own channel, and within 2 weeks, he was monetized, and I think I don't know what he had, 9,000 subscribers, like within 2 weeks. And that, again, is because of the people that were following channel makers because of him, which proves to me what I've said to a lot of you guys lots of times, that when people like the content creator, they will support the channel, follow the channel, share the channel, like videos, comment on things, and subscribe, obviously, because of the content creator. That's why I do the interviews I do when I interview content creators. I want you to know the people behind the channels, because to me, that's where the connection happens. You can watch videos that are about things that you enjoy, or things that teach you something, or, connect with you emotionally, or, relationally. But I just think there's so much that can be said for feeling like the human behind the channel, the human that's making that content and uploading it for you. And Nate is like the proof of that now, because I knew as soon as that announcement came that he was going to be leaving channel makers, I was just watching to see, okay, where's he going? I'm going wherever he's going. He could be talking about, oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of some like obscure thing that, I would never do. And I can't think of anything because there's lots of things I would at least try. But he could have started a channel with any kind of content that would never have interested me before, and I would still have wanted to be first in line to watch the first video and like the first video and make a comment and subscribe to the channel. And obviously that's not just true for me, because within 2 weeks, he went from no subscribers, brand new channel, first video, to YouTube partner program, and now a very big, healthy channel. And I think he's only posted maybe a half a dozen videos so far. So just keep that in mind. If you're a content creator, find ways to make connections. Get involved with people as a person, not just as your channel. I had invited that channel a month or so ago because I like the content. It's a history channel. I like history stuff. But he's a faceless channel. And so, we just determined it wasn't going to be comfortable for him. And I don't know how enjoyable it would have been for you guys to not be able to see the person as we're talking. I just think that's a huge plus. When I think of channels like Roots and Refuge Farm with Jess and Maya, I fell in love with that channel because of Jess and Maya. Originally, Jess, I don't remember seeing Maya in videos as much in the beginning. And if he was in the videos, he wasn't really the one presenting the video. He was just there, and she maybe had an interaction or asked him a question. And they, have grown to kind of share a little more equally at times in making the video and being in the video. But it's Jess. I subscribe to the channel and follow the channel because I love Jess. I love her vibe and her spirit. I love how connected she is with people, and how honest and authentic she is on camera and with people. So if you're trying to grow a channel, I just keep coming back to that. People will grow your channel if they like you. Whatever, if it's animals, if it's farming, if it's mechanics, if it's engineering, if it's math, if it's, I don't know, movies, whatever it is. So if you're a content creator and you'd like to be a guest on the show, we're back to that. Send me an email so we can find a date to get you on the show. We'll do an interview and talk about you and your channel, and give you an opportunity to connect, maybe on a little bit deeper level or a broader level than you can connect just through the videos that people see you in on your channel. But I think that's all for today. So thank you all. Special thanks again to Shari for coming on and talking about a really serious subject and something that can have a huge emotional impact on the people who have to deal with it. Again, I just can't imagine. I'm really feeling fortunate and blessed to have some arthritis. I take herbs for that. I need to lose some weight for sure too, but it's not something that's like causing a health issue beyond me just knowing that it's not as healthy for me to be the weight I am. And so that's, it's all about perspective. You learn about yourself by learning about other people. So thanks to her. You guys stay tuned for the other interviews that are coming up. I don't have anything booked for the next 2 Fridays yet. I'm just still waiting for people to work out their schedules, pick what Friday is going to work for them. So, but that does mean that I would potentially have a spot or two in the next couple of weeks to get in a content creator again. So I'm going to leave the chat open for a little bit after I leave the screen so you guys can say your hellos and goodbyes before we get out of here. Stay cool wherever you are. And as always, be safe, be happy, be well, be blessed. Love to all from Rich Cat Ranch. I appreciate and love all of you so much more than I can figure out how to convey when I'm trying to tell you. And if, I don't know, I guess if you don't have a channel, maybe you don't know what I mean, what that means, how that makes me feel. But it's real and it's important to me, and all of you are important to me. And I love the time that we can spend together when you show up for my live streams. So I'll see you in the next video. Be watching for this project video to come out. And I think that's it for today. I love you guys. Be safe again. You say your goodbyes, and I'll see you next week. Bye.